rear suspension, we have a JB swing arm. We utilize the stock rear linkage and the stock shock geometry. The reason we run the JB swing arm, it's constructed just a little different than the stock unit. It's also lighter weight. JB has made us a couple different lengths of the swing arm. We've tried different geometries and different setups. We've always gravitated back to this stock geometry swing arm that's exactly like the one that comes with your stock bike. If you plan on putting a lot of miles on your ATV racing and you know, you want something that's a little more durable, the JB chromoly swing arm is definitely the way to go. The shock on the back of this ATV is a Fox Podium X shock. It has a few components in it as well that they're not available to the public today, but it's the research and development that goes into tomorrow's products. The shock that Fox makes for the stock LTR fits this bike and functions 95% exactly the same as the shock that's in this bike. The axle in the bike is an RPM Dominator 2, the same axle that's available to anyone in the ATV market. There's really not anything that's special or different other than that the wheel hubs are actually their titanium wheel hubs that we had special made. Again, it's not a top secret, you know, product. It's just something that we've gone ahead and done the research and spent the money to have these titanium hubs built for us. Along with the axle, the brake rotor, it's just an off-the-shelf Galfer wave rotor that we've taken and massaged a little and fit to the bike. This caliper is 0.6 of a pound lighter than the stock caliper. Again, there's no special parts in it. We've just taken the time and the thought to machine it and lighten it up for our use. The wheels and tires that you find in one of our race bikes are exactly the same as what you can buy from any dealer. Douglas 4-1 rolled edge ultimate wheel. It's anodized yellow this year. It's a new thing that Douglas has came out with. It's also available to the public. The Maxxis Razor Cross front tire, again, same tire you can buy here at the racetrack or from some local dealers. We don't do anything special to the front wheels or tires. It's all just stock production products. The rear tire is also, it's a production tire that you can buy from the Maxxis rep here at the racetrack or from some of the local dealers, along with the wheel. Just a standard Douglas 8-inch beadlock. Probably the best tire and wheel combination that we've had here at the ATV MX races for the last 3 or 4 years. You'll see that this tire in particular, we've grooved the outside lug and we also sipe the center lugs. At certain tracks and certain conditions, we'll modify the tread pattern slightly for better side bite or a different type of traction. Other than that, it's pretty much standard wheels and tires. For your average consumer to buy one of these bikes straight off the showroom floor stock and go to the racetrack, there's a few key things you're going to have. Pro aluminum Nerf bars, again, same ones that we can sell production from any dealership, available across the country. You're also going to need a tether cord provided by Pro Design. That's a safety component. The typical amateur class here at the motocross events, the production pipe is fairly competitive stock. You remove the baffle and you can purchase a cherry bomb from Yoshimura. It's a plug-and-play, inexpensive part that will control the fuel injection, remove the airbox lid, and have a nice day.
You know, when I found out I was going to get to ride Dustin Wimmer's 2008 AMA Pro Championship bike, I was very excited. You know, trying to go pro myself and then getting a chance to see what these factory teams are actually racing on and winning the championships with. It was a pretty good opportunity for me to be able to get to do this. Aaron Meyer here riding Dustin Wimmer's 2008 Championship LTR450 Suzuki at the last round of Loretta Lynn's AMA Pro National. And we're going to see what this bad boy's got and why he won the championship. The whole Yoshimura Suzuki team, they all run kickstarts on their bikes, and I tried them a couple times. I wasn't a big fan of them. I kind of had a little trouble getting them to start every time. You know, you don't really want that when you're out there racing. If it stalls, you need to start right away. But as soon as I barely touched the Kickstarter on Dustin's bike, the thing fired right up. Very smooth, very easy to kick, and it fired right away. Coming off the line, Dustin's bike really surprised me. It just picked up the front end right away, had a lot more traction, a lot better hookup. I think it might have been a little combination of the suspension and the traction and stuff. And he weighs a little bit more than me, so that could have had a lot to do with it as well. The motor is really awesome on that bike. Although it didn't have much more top end pull than what mine did, I kind of felt they were kind of similar. But just the bottom end torque and the power coming out of corners was just way different than what I'm used to. And it had power whenever you wanted it. You touch the gas, there's power. You let off the gas, the top end, the bottom end, wherever you wanted it, there was power. And I really like that about the motor. The Fox Podium X shock on the back of Dustin's bike seemed to work really well for me over a bunch of stuff, you know. It handled real good through the corners, and it sat low, wasn't kicking me around, bouncing me up or nothing. But I did notice it was a little soft sometimes, and I was kind of surprised that Dustin was able to run that shock that soft beam, and he weighs quite a bit more than I do. It's just, I guess he just rides a lot smoother than what I do. The Fox Evos on the front of Dustin's bike were the one thing that stood out the most to me. They worked really good over all the little stuff, the big hits, you know, everything. The body roll, which a lot of people have a problem with on the Fox Evos, you know, they tend to have a lot of body roll, but with these shocks, there seemed like there's no body roll at all. And the one big thing that was really awesome was the bottom out resistance. Like going through the 10 Commandments on my bike, I would go through and kick up some dirt with my front bumper, you know, if I overshot them a little bit, they'd kind of bottom out. But these Evos, you do the same thing on Dustin's bike, and there's no bottom out, no dirt flying. They just had this really cushy, firm feel at the bottom, but it wasn't bottoming out, and it was just a really awesome feel. That bike was very stable down the straightaways and through the turns. You know, it had your typical Pro-Am Pro stability through the high-speed straightaways and stuff, but going through some of the high-speed sweepers, though, you know, big corners with them rough potholes and stuff in them, I tended to be fighting my bike a little bit, but his bike just sat right down, sat real low, stuck to the ground. I was able to run through him just pinned in, you know, fourth gear in his bike, and I ended up having to fight mine through him. I think if I'd have had that bike through some of those corners or had my bike handling like that, it would have been, you know, could have shaved a second off my lap times down there just the way that the thing stuck to the ground in those high-speed corners. The brakes felt very firm, very new, you know. They worked very good, but, you know, you hardly even need the brakes on this bike because it just sets right in, sets down low. It's very stable through the corners and stuff. The foot pegs on his bike are right where you need them, just like a typical LTR450. You know, the Quad-Tech seat felt real good. It felt like your stock height Quad-Tech seat, but it had a soft feel to it. It was soft on top, let you get right in the seat groove, but it was nice and firm, didn't feel no seat frame or nothing, no hard spots when going around the corners, nothing. It had a sweet titanium JB stem on there. I think it's a little taller, but Dustin does have about a good 6-8 inches on me. The Pro Taper bar is a real good quality bar, but Dustin runs a little different bar band compared to what I'm used to. You know, down here at Loretta's track, riding Dustin's 2008 championship bike, freaking awesome. Get out there. The whole LTR450 was an awesome package. Yoshimura motor, JB Fox suspension. Everything just worked really well out there. But the coolest part of it all is that, you know, a normal person could go to their Suzuki dealer, buy a Suzuki, call Fox, call Yoshimura, call JB, get a bike and build it just the same way that Dustin did, and they're out there riding a bike pretty similar to what he's racing in the pro class. You know, Suzuki did a great job at engineering the LTR450. It's just a great race package and a great setup for somebody to go out there and race. And you know, Dustin's bike is just an awesome bike. Hope everybody's enjoyed our in-look on Dustin's 2008 championship bike, and just want to thank Suzuki, Yoshimura, letting us get out there and do some laps on Dustin's bike.